What's up, y'all? It's KB, and I love movies. Hope everyone is enjoying their October and all the horror movie watching that we've been doing. I've been doing a double feature challenge for the month where I ask different horror lovers, such as yourselves, to just recommend two movies for me to watch together. Hopefully, I could find some commonalities in it and enjoy it, whether it's something new or something I've never seen before. So, tonight's guest is definitely on that list, and they were able to supply me with two titles to watch, and we'll talk about that. But I want to bring them in. They are one of the most killer but fun couples out there talking horror movies. I enjoy seeing their posts on Instagram. I definitely enjoy their movie reviews and everything they do. I'm just going to bring them in because we have Rob and Kaylie from That Horror Couple.
What
Hello,
up?
people.
Hi.
Hey,
So
KB.
glad you could join us.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us, man.
Yeah, no problem. How's
Thanks for the-
everything going tonight?
Good.
Good.
Thanks for the kind intro. That was awesome. I feel special
Yeah,
about myself.
thank you.
I call it like I see it, man. You
I was
know,
like, he's talking about me, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
Ah,
The thing is, I always get surprised when somebody says, "Oh, I've been following you for a while, and you do such a good job." I'm like, me? I mean, I'm just BSing here. My whole thing is I want to talk movies with other movie lovers, and especially around this time, I want to talk horror movies with other horror movie lovers. Like I said last
it's our
week,
month, man. It's our
yeah,
month.
yeah. I mean, you guys are 365ers, so really, it's my month. It's like you guys are like all the time, but this is when we kind of lean into the genre and kind of catch up with where you guys are pretty much all the time. So I'm definitely happy to have you here and looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Even though we watch these movies year round, for some reason, it's still exciting to catch them on TV.
And AMC Fear Fest?
Yeah, like even if it's a movie I've seen like 100 times, I'm like, oh, Friday 4's on. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm like, let's check it out. But yeah, so it's definitely an exciting time, and yeah, I don't know, Halloween. It feels different around this
It's
time of year
special
too.
this time of year.
Yeah, nothing like Michael Myers in a little October weather.
Yeah. Is it getting cool by you now?
Finally a little bit.
Oh yeah, Vegas is pretty brutal.
It's still gonna heat up again, but I think like next week leading up to Halloween is gonna be beautiful. So we're really excited about that.
I'm gonna be Dr. Loomis for Halloween. I got my trench coat, and I'm working on my like Loomis voice, and it's gonna be cool.
There you go.
Cool.
I'm thinking about shaving the middle of my head too, so I'm bald.
Oh no! Don't do that.
I want to go all out. You know, I don't hold back. You know,
get a cap or something. Don't do.
Yeah.
I love that. I'm looking back on that whole character. I'm like, he was a psychiatrist, but that he's running around with a gun, and he's like, I'm his doctor. I'm like.
I'm a psychopath myself.
Yeah, I'm like, he really goes the extra mile for his patients. You know?
You think? Oh my gosh.
What are you gonna be? You're gonna be
I think I'm just gonna do a witch.
You're doing a witch again? I wanted her to do Nurse Marion, like be a nurse. But,
well, being a witch is free.
Yeah,
I have a hat already.
Dude, these Halloween costumes are killer prices.
Oh my gosh. My wife wanted to do Super Mario Brothers with a coworker, and we went to like price out the costumes and was like, ooh, I think we'll buy groceries this week instead.
Right? They're like $50, $60, $70 a piece. It's insane.
They're made cheap too.
Yeah.
They're made cheap where they just rip or break after like one use, and it's like, dude, it's like, So my trench coat is good because I could also be Robert Stack from Unsolved Mysteries. So I just haven't decided. I haven't decided where I want to go with it. But
you got to work on, the way you whip your head around toward the camera.
Yeah, that guy's voice used to scare me as a kid. That host of Unsolved Mysteries, man.
It's the music too.
Yeah,
the music, and he used to walk like surrounded by fog. I don't know if he was outside, he'd be like around fog. Like the killer was last seen, and he always named like my hometown. I'm like. So, being a kid, I was like, no,
he's in our backyard.
Oh, that guy had the most eerie voice.
Yeah,
I swear. He almost was like Loomis in a way.
Yeah,
he was similar. He really was.
We are not alone, so I'm just going to check the chat. Everyone in the chat, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. Also, anyone lurking on the replay, welcome to all of you. Feel free to
I think my brother's in the chat. He said he was gonna watch. So
Let's see.
I don't know if he is. I don't know if he's gonna say anything. He's probably just gonna look around.
It's
there is. Yeah.
You know, these days it could be like blood related brother, or it could be like Hulk Hogan talking brother. You know,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's true.
You never know.
No, that's my actual brother, and that's my niece in the picture next to him. So yeah, she's
welcome
cute.
to you both.
Yeah, he has two cute girls, and they're awesome. And yeah, my brother's a horror fan too. But yeah, he watches all our videos, and what he criticizes a lot of them, but for the most part,
he probably criticizes you.
Yeah, he's like, here's what you got to do, and I'm like, bro, come on, man. No, but he's cool. And my sister-in-law, his wife, she bought her that horror couple shirt, so that's rad. So
cool.
Yeah,
we got Mr. Tony in here saying good evening.
What up?
We got Holland Oates saying hi. We got Gunchi checking in from Taiwan. Hello to you, sir.
Gunchi.
We got Mika in the house. What's up, sis?
Hi.
We're friends with them.
Oh, talking about friends, a former guest on the conversation.
Yo, they're amazing people.
I really like
our Canada friends.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yo, that guy is like 6'4", and I had no idea.
Oh, so he's as tall as me then?
Yeah, because he's sitting down when I'm talking to him, and he's like, "I'm 6'4", and I was like, "Oh." I hope I was nice to him.
It's fun when you go to a meetup and you see people's actual height and size and all that, because you know sometimes it's like from the face up you don't really get to see like everyone's features and everything. So
yeah, I think we talked to them when they had a podcast, and we were on their podcast, and I thought they were great. Their show was like so organized, and they were fun to talk to. And I said they wanted to do YouTube, so I was like, just do what you're doing I said, just film what you're doing. I'm like, you guys already have a banter and a formula, and I'm like, just go with it. And I think and they're doing good. So yeah, Our Life in Horror, check them out.
Yeah.
Shout out to Brendan and Sam, doing a great job. We got Michael in the house saying, hey, good to see you.
What's up, Michael?
We got Half Cheetah Will View. What is going on, Patrick? Good to see you.
How you doing?
Oh yeah, Sam's tall too. Brendan 6'4", I'm 5'11". We are giants.
Dude, cool. Sam's taller than me.
Oh yeah.
We're on YouTube because of you guys. That's love right there. That's love.
It's all me, actually. I take all the credit for all the good stuff.
Talking about podcasts and YouTubes and all that, how did that horror couple get started?
It was when the world shut down, and we were talking about. Hello?
I'm here.
Okay, you went away for a second.
Just giving you a little spotlight.
And I was like, was it something I said?
We thought we hit something.
I thought he.
No, you're good.
It was basically like we had the idea for a while, and then the world shut down, and we were home every day, and you know, I think we met from talking.
We went talking movies. That's our hobby. Like we love watching movies and TV shows.
We met
together.
on Instagram just talking movies, and we were like, we should just talk about movies and record it, because the thing is, we would get into a lot of conversations, and a lot of times they would just turn out to be funny. Like we would talk about Halloween, but like we talk about Dr. Loomis and how it took him all night to find that car, even though it was right in front of him.
Yeah.
Or like we talk about you know, just silly things we noticed, like just bloopers we noticed from watching Friday the 13th over and over again. And I'm like, yo, we should have recorded that. We should have recorded that. That was good. So eventually we started recording it, but we didn't know how to edit. We didn't know how to do anything. We had to teach ourselves everything. And I didn't really learn anything. That was all Kaylie. So Kaylie is my editor. She runs the social media. She does most of the stuff. So I just tell dick jokes mostly. And that's my job.
Yeah.
Don't forget the fart ones.
Yes,
yeah.
Sometimes I do the dick fart combo.
Okay.
that is, you know, one step short of the trifecta. So
yeah,
you know,
it's really a devastating combo.
Kaylie and Robbie are awesome. Find you guys via Ken.
Oh, we love you guys.
Oh wow.
Thank you.
Yeah, and
they're awesome.
That's a little continuation of the beginning. In the beginning, we were just learning and just starting out, and I wasn't too confident, and I got a message from Ken, and he's like, I want to interview you guys. And I'm like, what is this, a joke? I was like, you want to interview me? I was like, me. And he's like, yeah. And he was like, he was like one of those guys that he's like, he's always there for advice or he's always there to talk. And me and him now, we just text about music or movies or whatever else. And yeah, he's one of my good friends now. So
yeah, he's awesome.
it
That's
got to the
somebody else I always chatting with and whatnot. So
Yeah, we love him
it
and
got to the point
Ashley.
where I was like, everybody in my life I've met through the horror community almost. Like almost
Yeah.
everybody, all my friends, I met Kaylie through the horror community, and I was like, wow, that's so strange. I was like, just from being on Instagram, most of the people I associate with is from the horror community.
Yeah, and it's funny, you're the second guest 2 weeks in a row now. The guys that I had on from Nightmare Junkhead last week, also Ken and Ashley, they were singing their praises too. So
Oh,
shout
that's
out to them
great.
as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ken,
Ken is great. Whole community is awesome.
Ken
I
paid, he
agree.
paid me $10 to say that. But,
I got 20.
yeah. Oh, you got 20?
Oh, you know,
I got
our community is great. Love the connections we made. Michael had a question for Kaylie. Wanted to know what edit systems you use, if you use like anything like Avid or Final Cut Pro.
I
We
use
can't give away.
I
We
use
can't give
a
away.
cheaper one.
We
It's
can't-
called Filmora Filmora Pro, I think it is now.
Mhm.
I think it was like $100 the first year we had it, but it charges us yearly, and it charges us like $34 a year now. So I know how to navigate it very well. So I kind
Yeah.
of stay on there, even though I know there are probably better editing software out there, but I'm still on the Filmora, so it does the job.
I wanted to bust his chops and just act like I didn't want to give away the information real quick. I was gonna be like, I can't give that information away.
The whole thing is, it's not about the tool, it's about the person using it and what you could do with it.
Well,
So
yeah, I come to find they're all basically the same thing. They all do the same thing.
yeah, I
And
mean, there's certain ones, of course, you're gonna have more features and be able to do more things. Like I think it's just a matter of how you use it, and for whatever you're using it for, it might be just enough. So
I think so. It's worked well pretty far, and it does constant updates too. Like every week, it's like I'm having to reinstall updates in it, so it's constantly improving. So I do enjoy that about using that.
yeah. Editing is one of those things that you just have to put in the time, and the more reps you get, it's like the more things come to it, because you start to create like a process. You become like a macro, and it's like you end up doing the same steps. How do you cut? How do you move things around? How do you do overlays? How do you do audio, stuff like that?
There were several times where like, oh, I didn't even know I could do this.
Yeah, I'd be using the program forever, and I'm like, oh, you could do this. Oops, it's been on there the whole time. I just never knew how to do it.
Hey,
But you're right.
discovery.
Yeah.
Discovery. That's what it's about.
There's also the frustration though. You hit one thing and it's
well, I didn't used to know that there was a back button that you could hit to like correct your mistake if you just made an accidental mistake where you erased everything. So I would be like, no, I thought I actually erased everything, So
yeah, I always tell people, don't try to fix, try to undo.
Yes,
There's always
there you
undo.
go. That's true.
Undo the last thing you ever did. Good question, Tony. Do you ever think you'll do any pre-recorded videos again? I've been thinking about it. I love the live aspect of just like what we're doing here. And then once we say goodnight, it's up there, it's out there. But I am thinking more and more about either going back to doing a couple of pre-recorded, because there are some people I haven't had on because they basically have stage fright of some sort. Like they could sit in front of their phone or in front of a camera and record a video, record a YouTube video or make a short or whatever, but they can't be in front of a audience and handle questions and chats and all that stuff, even on the receiving end. So I am thinking about doing that, and I am thinking about like doing more just like topic based stuff. So let's see what 2025 has in store.
We're doing the opposite. We're
We're ready to go live, man.
Yeah, I mean,
know.
You need some live.
I know.
I think it's long overdue. I don't know. I think it's anxiety. I'm just worried that like nobody's gonna show up and it's just me.
I don't care.
Like by myself. Like
I don't care. The whole thing is, if no one shows up, you do a little editing magic and you put it as a pre-recorded video.
That's true.
That's
yeah.
true.
And that's what I'm thinking about doing. Like, if I have like these lives, I'll keep them unlisted. So if you're in the live, great, you catch it, you could chat, you could be a part of it, but then edit it and then put it out as a pre-recorded. Because there's a lot of people when we're talking YouTube that never goes beyond that first tab, never goes beyond the video tab. They don't look at live, they don't look at shorts. So it's just like they just go to videos or they stay on that home tab. So if you don't have something on that home tab, they're not checking you out. So, you know,
it's like
they might look and say,
first thing they
ooh,
see, yeah.
he hasn't posted anything in a month. Yeah, I've been posting almost every day, but it's been shorts and lives. So you have a
Yeah.
good point, Tony. I am definitely thinking about that. I like that idea. Using a live later would be great. Yeah, for sure. I skipped a couple of things. Let's see. Okay, just some chat in between each other. Hello, Adrian. Thank you for joining us.
What's up, Adrian?
Love lives. It's a great thing about the two of us. If no one shows, we just chat and hang out. Yeah,
That's true. Yeah.
me, they'll put me away if I chat with myself. I actually like when I do Q&As because it's like I usually don't announce them too much, and then it's like whoever gets a notification is actually in there. So it's like, oh, you actually want to be here. So okay, yeah. So yeah, I prefer that.
What if there's like a troll? If there's a troll in the chat, is it easy to kick him out? I got to learn how to do all that.
Yeah, I'll definitely show you. You know,
You guys show me. You got to show me how to give people the boot.
Yeah. Like right now, I could give somebody the boot. I won't, but it's as easy as clicking on here and saying, put user in timeout or ban user.
You can throw my brother out.
No.
He's kind of a dick.
But he's you. Let me stop.
Yeah.
Who got who into The Walking Dead?
Both.
We were
Both.
when we met, we were both already watching it.
Yeah.
But I think he started it sooner than I did. I started watching it live season 4, and because right before season 4 started, I binged the first 3 seasons. And I think you said you watched the first 2 seasons and then started watching it live, right?
Well, I heard about it and everybody was talking about it, but you know, usually when everybody loves something, I hate it. And that's just so I was like, all right, whatever. Like I like things that are like less popular. So like I think that's why I didn't check it out right away.
Mhm.
I was talking to a friend and she's like, I don't really watch TV. She goes, only The Walking Dead. And then I like pro wrestling.
Yeah.
So CM Punk, he mentioned he watches Walking Dead when he's traveling. So I'm like, I got to check this show out. So I watched it. I bought the first 2 seasons on DVD back then.
Yeah.
And I just binge watched them. And I'm like, I got it. And then it kind of ended right when season 3 started. So I was like, okay. So
Nice.
and a lot of people like stopped watching. I kept going. And yeah, like my brother too. He was like, I stopped watching after season 3. A lot of my friends were like, stop watching after season 4. And I really think that like the whole Negan storyline when Negan got in there and they were fighting the Whisperers. You compare that to the early episodes. The early episodes are great, but if you compare the action, there's more. There's a lot more battles, a lot more action in the new stuff.
Yeah.
And now we got the spin-offs that are very, very good, and nobody's talking about it but us on our channel. We're doing the Daryl show on our channel every week, and I don't know if anyone's watching. Like
that's the thing. It almost becomes like a niche audience because there's not a lot of people talking about it. I know for me, my thing is I'll get on something early, but if it's not keeping my interest or there's 5 other things I don't care if it's South Park, Walking Dead, whatever. It's like you got to have some twists to keep me in. If you don't, I'm just on to the next thing. Too many hobbies. I mean, I'm looking around this room and I'm like unwrapped movies behind me. I have a list of 111 people last time I counted as far as future guests. I got my DJ equipment over there. I got this big ass TV in front of me. I got things I could be doing. So it's
Walking Dead's also one of those shows. Like if you just watch it here and there and like jump in here and there, it's almost you're gonna be lost because there's there's a lot of story building episodes, and if you're not familiar with the current characters, you're not going to see any walkers. You're not going to see many like deaths every single episode. So not a lot, but there are episodes that are just sitting around talking. So I could see the occasional person just being like, "Oh, this is boring," and changing it. But like,
it's not a soap opera. You need to pay attention,
right? But like, if you're into the story and like you watch it consistently, like that conversation or that storyline, there's going to be a payoff, you know?
Yeah.
So, you know, I mean, I really like every episode, and I like the spinoffs a lot too.
They're pretty good, yeah.
I thought the Negan Maggie one was good.
I love
Dead
the Rick
City.
and Michonne one the best. I thought that was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's I mean, they're keeping it going by having all these spin-offs for sure.
We also been checking out From this show From on
so good.
I hear a lot of people talking about that.
Oh damn, is it good? Like, wow, dude. Like
In Love with Horror, AJ and Chrissy were just talking about that show too.
Oh, their channel's great.
Oh, they're awesome.
Yeah, I love them. They're fun.
I watch their channel. Yeah, I don't know if they know us, but yeah, they're awesome.
They follow us. Yeah.
Oh, they do that?
Yeah, yeah.
That's rad.
I keep playing with this thing because I started doing roundtables earlier this year, and I want to do this networking thing where I bring like different people who may or may not know each other, and just have you guys like collaborate on some topic or something, just so you could be in the same like live stream and just vibe together. I think that'll be fun.
That sounds really fun.
Well, that'd be really cool.
Yeah. I know Mika and Kara have been watching it as well.
Oh, yay.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm so glad you guys like it. It's our new addiction, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
There you go. For Rob, out of all the segments, I mean, you just mentioned one with the reviews and everything. Out of all the segments that you do on the channel, what would you say is your favorite?
Oh, good question. A lot of times I just like the movies that it's not really rehearsed that much, and it just comes from natural conversation, and we just feed off each other. And believe it or not, a lot of movies that we don't like we didn't like Imaginary, we didn't like Night Swim, and those made for very entertaining videos. I don't know why, but I was like, this is like, I didn't dig the movie, but I went home and filmed it. I'm like, we played it back, and I'm like, this is funny as hell. I'm like, me complaining the whole time is very entertaining. So I'm like, so I don't know. For me, I love it all. It's like choosing between your kids. I love everything we do, but for me, it's the stuff that is just on the spot that's not planned, which is most of our stuff. But
that's why the lives will be fun for you.
Yeah,
guys. They'll be so off the top of the dome and just like going anywhere. How be fun.
How we do our videos is we'll have talking points, but we won't have a script or anything. Nothing's scripted. I'll just say, like, I like the scenery, I like the location, I like the cast. Dislikes. I thought it was too long.
Yeah.
The end was a little boring. Overall score.
Yeah. Likes, dislikes.
Yeah. Exactly.
Favorite kills. Overall score.
Yeah.
I watched.
Well, you actually do watch. He does watch it. That's awesome. Thanks so much. But yeah. So like we'll have just talking points, and the rest of it is just conversation. And you know, if I can fill in the gaps and make it somewhat entertaining, because if someone's gonna watch me, I want to humor them. I want to make them laugh. I want to. And I got this really nice comment one day. Some girl said she was like depressed or going through something, and she said, I put on your video and it got my mind off everything, and you made me laugh. She's like, thank you. And I was like, dude. Yeah, I didn't know
we don't know who we affect, man.
Yeah, especially with dick jokes. I didn't know you could do that.
And fart jokes. Don't forget the fart jokes.
That's true.
I know the answer to this, but I'm going to put it up anyway. Michael wants to know, do you guys go to horror conventions such as Monsterpalooza? Yes.
We're originally from New York, so we went to Monster Mania. Yeah, hell yeah. We went to Monster Mania in Jersey a couple times. And now that we're on the West Coast, we've been hitting up Days of the Dead.
Days of the Dead. Mm-hmm.
And what else did we go to? We've been to Fanboy Expo.
When they had it here, we went to Fanboy Expo. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I've been going to conventions since like 2007. So I've been doing it a while. And then I met Kaylie, and Monster Mania had like the It Kids reunion, John Carpenter and Richard Dreyfuss from Jaws, like
all on the same weekend.
3 of her favorite movies. So and we were long distance at the time. She was living in Georgia. So I said, you got to fly up and you got to come to this convention with me. And that was her first convention. So she walks into the autograph room and she's like, these people are on my TV. like she didn't like, it was hard. Yeah. And like, she walks in and the first person she meets, because I'm like, we got to go to the biggest line and we got to get rid of the biggest line right away. First person she met was Carpenter. It's John
Wow.
Carpenter. So you go from like not going to a convention to like, a few minutes later meeting Carpenter. It's kind of nuts, man.
I still remember I went to this one convention and I wasn't gonna do any autographs or anything like that, but everybody's standing in line for Stan Lee. And
Oh, wow.
I'm like, I just want to see him. I just want to see him. And it's like you see this little entourage, and he wasn't that tall. He was, everybody's short to me at 6'4", but it's like I saw him and I was like, I was a kid again. I was 8 years old, reading my comics, and he gave me the like that, and I was like, he just said Excelsior without saying anything to me, man. It was great.
Aw.
Yeah,
10
bro.
minutes later, I turn the corner, Barbara Eden from I Dream of Jeannie,
Oh,
and her line is forever long. And then I'm like, all right, I'm not gonna like wait online and see it, but I just saw Barbara Eden, so I was like you, Kaylie. I was like, you on my TV.
Right? It's kind of like mind blowing,
yeah. I walked away from certain people, and I'm like, did that just happen? I was like,
Yeah.
I think it just happened. Then I checked my phone. I'm like, okay, I got a selfie. It did happen. Okay.
There's a few people I've met, and then a few people I'd like to meet. So like I went to the local film festival, and they always have a couple of celebrities. So I met Barbara Campton last year. This year I met
awesome.
Heather Langenkamp, and she signed my Elm Street street sign. So I'm like,
very
oh, I would love to
cool.
meet Robert Englund, but I would rather buy groceries.
Yeah, I'm not waiting in that line.
I met Robert Englund in 2008, and he was $25, and the selfie was included.
Wow.
Now I think he's over $100, and his line's like down the block. So
he's VIP. He's $100 to meet, autograph, $100 for a photo.
Yeah,
so basically, just to be there, it's like $100 plus.
Yeah, but he did talk to us for like a good couple minutes, and he
is loquacious.
Yeah, he's very cool.
He likes to talk.
Oh, nice, Sam.
I remember we were at Days of the Dead, and some guy walks up, and he's like, I'm a fan of your YouTube channel. And I was like, oh, thank you very much. And he had a hoodie, he unzips it, and he's wearing our t-shirt. And that made my day. So dude, I took a picture with him, like yeah. So I had to send it to like my mom. Wow. I was like, I have one fan.
You know what? I've been out because my friend Nathan Jones lives in Springfield, which is a couple hours up from here. And my other friend Ryan from The Disconnected is like 20-25 minutes away. And we're all out and we're, shopping, looking at Blu-rays, whatever. And this guy comes over, he's like, are you blah, blah, blah? And I'm like, okay. So he knows him. All right, he's big, whatever. And then he's like, hey, KB. And I was like, you know me?
That's awesome.
Yeah, so it's so weird when people recognize you out, from your little YouTube channel. It's kind of cool.
Yeah,
I have a question for Kaylie.
It happens.
Yeah.
I have one for you too. Since I gave Rob one, I'll give you one. So, being a fellow Star Wars fan, are you more comfortable giving me your top 3, top 5, or just go all out and give me overall ranking of all the Star Wars feature films?
Oh, I could probably definitely my top 3 are number 3 would be The Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, and number 1's Revenge of the Sith. The prequels are my favorite.
For the prequels, then.
Mm-hmm. Yes, those are definitely my favorite.
That's the one you grew up with.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. That's what happens because being of an older generation, it's the holy trilogy for me. So the middle ones. So, but ask a teenager today who's into it, and they go with the last 3, and you're like, what?
Yeah.
The last 3. They're so
right. Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of the sequels. Like I think they're cool, but I'm not. I prefer the prequels than the original trilogy than the sequels.
So that's the beautiful thing about a franchise is that it's for each generation. Like there's a Harry Potter generation, and there is I found out the other day there is a what's his name, David Allen Gordon Green, whatever. The guy who did the last 3
No, I'm sorry. You're right. David Gordon Green. Yes. Mm-hmm.
There is a group of people that prefer that to like 4, 5.
Oh yeah,
That's us.
That's me.
But I mean, like, they stand hard for it. Like,
I took responsibility to defend those because I thought they were getting like unnecessary hate. Like
yeah,
so
that's crazy.
we there you go. It's plugged in, right? Yeah, all right, good. We got some warning.
Sorry, I got the low battery warning. I had to, my computer it unplugged. I had to go plug that in real quick.
we're professional.
I didn't want to I didn't want it to shut down on us. I'm sorry.
We are professionals.
It would instantly become a Q&A at that point.
I was like, let me plug that in really quick.
I want to talk about the movies that you gave for me to watch, but before I do, the year is closing pretty soon. I mean, November is like almost a week away, but people are already starting to rank like their favorite movies of the year. What are some of your favorite horror movies this year? Because it's been a spectacular year for horror movies and horror. I'd say also horror adjacent movies.
I agree.
My favorite would definitely be Alien Romulus.
Yeah,
that was my favorite.
Off the top of my head, I liked In a Violent Nature, even though a lot of people said it was that they were bored or something. I thought it was a slasher film from nowadays, and it was like, what would happen if a slasher film was realistic? The killer would be waiting around a while to get you. There would be a lot of downtime. I thought it was a very it was so 80s for some reason to me too.
Yeah.
Or 80s meets a video game meets like
first person shooter.
Yeah, and
with you've always wondered, what Jason was doing when the kids were like in the pool or having sex or whatever. This is what he was doing. He was walking to his location.
I thought it was an underrated film that came out this year because it came out and everybody was like, and me and Kaylie disagreed on that. We were fighting in our video, but yeah, that Romulus.
I love I know it's not. Maybe it's kind of like kiddie horror, but the Beetlejuice sequel, I loved that. I thought it was really good.
That was good. Good nostalgia for sure.
Yeah,
there's more that came out.
We bought both. We actually bought Alien Romulus and Beetlejuice like over the weekend because they both came out to digital. So we made sure we got those. Yeah. I'm trying to think. What else did we go see?
Mika just highlighted one of mine right here. I love this movie.
We haven't seen that.
Oh, you got to check it out.
It's on Shudder, right? I think I've seen it advertised.
I believe so. Same film festival I was talking about. They showed that back in April, so I got to see it early. That, Infested, Sting, a couple other movies, but where is it? I just showed it last week. Still here. This one here. It's not a horror movie, but it's kind of like a Hitchcock movie called What You Wish For. It's about this guy who's a chef and his like buddy from culinary school brings him in, and he's like living this like lavish, I work one night and I get paid all this money, and he's like so jealous of him. And then it just goes from there. It was crazy. So
that sounds interesting.
Unpopular opinion, but I thought The Crow was pretty rad.
Oh yeah, we liked that one. I haven't
seen that. That's one I said I'll wait.
It got so much hate, but I was like, you know what? It's exactly what I thought it was going to be. It was going to be like an updated take on The Crow, and I thought it was okay. I really did. And everybody hates it. I was like,
I love the new Twisters movie. I know that's like disaster horror, but I love that one. Yeah, that was such a fun movie.
That was
fun. I know some people, the whole thing, I will say, and this is like an overall theme for the year, is that a lot of people went into a lot of movies with a lot of premonitions. And I don't care what the trailer says. I don't care what, word of mouth says. Just go and check out the movie. It's like you got to make your own decision on what a movie is going to be like from seeing it, not from the trailer. I was convinced that Speak No Evil was going to be trash because I watched the trailer for 2 months, and then people started saying, "Oh, I actually liked it." So I'm like, "Okay, I'll go check it out." But I think the same thing with Longlegs, scariest movie of the year. Not.
That was really well.
It was 7.
We liked
it was
it,
7. It was
we
7.
Gave it like
and Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah. But if you knew that, instead of thinking it was if you went in thinking it was going to be a horror movie and you got that, you'd be fairly disappointed.
That's how we felt. I think in our review,
it was good. It was good, but I wasn't blown away by it. Everybody was like, film of the like you said, film of the year, and I was like, and I didn't think Nick Cage was there for that long. And
no,
I mean,
he made his money off that film. He was an executive producer, so it's like he was there. He was important to the film, but then he was like, okay, back to counting money. You just got a sub from Mr. Tony.
Thank
Tony,
you so much,
you are the
Tony.
man.
Same thing for Our Life in Horror, so got some there too.
Oh, thanks so much, yo.
Alien Romulus, best horror movie I saw this year, but I also need to see Smile 2. Me too. I was supposed to go out this weekend, but kind of under the weather. I saw your review, so definitely check out their channel. I'm going to have the link and everything in the description, but check out their
thank
channel.
you.
Is Terrifier 3 up there for us for this year?
No, I liked it. Yeah,
I liked it. I still like 2 better.
Yeah, I like 2 better. I'm a little biased when something takes place on Halloween. That instantly like bumps the score up for me because I prefer it to take place on Halloween rather than Christmas. So that's just me.
I think it was just I was just like fixing that and just switching stuff around. I'm like that. They probably got tired of just like Halloween. How can we shock people even more? Oh, your sacred little holiday. Here we go.
Yeah, that's true.
So the thing is, he's in it for the shock value. So I get that. I mean, if you watch the first opening scene, it's shock value from there on. So, but I think 2 was a better balance of plot, although length questionable, but plot and action and kills and everything. And the shower scene can't beat the bathroom scene to me. So that's just me.
That's true.
I think I agree. Yeah. But yeah, it kind of was started off. It seemed like an indie film kind of took over the world. I was like with the whole Terrifier franchise. Like I was like, wow. Yeah. It kind of brought back like even if there are rumors, they said people were running out of theater scared. People were. I don't know if that was true, but I'm like, it's kind of cool that like it has some folklore behind it. It's like
yeah. And I mean, I think it's kind of like if you hear people are throwing up, you want to go see it. It becomes kind of like a challenge for your friends. Let's see if we could see it.
Oh yeah, especially nowadays, we're like we've seen it all. It's all been done. We have that. A lot of people think that, and like so when we hear people freaking out, people fainting, we're like, oh, and they actually did have a sign.
Oh yeah, excessive gore. Yeah, they had violence.
I never saw that. They had a warning sign as we were walking in. I asked the manager about it. She said what she told me was they did a pre-screening and the people walked out and they never saw a Terrifier film before, so they had no idea what they were getting into. And
why are you going to see 3 if you've never seen?
I don't know. They thought it was going to be. They were expecting it to be like Killer Clowns from Outer Space. That's what a lot of them said. And it's Art hacking people with a chainsaw, and
they were probably very surprised.
You think? Yeah. Some people got barf bags, and that's probably going to be in the collector's edition for the physical media release too.
Oh, they actually have barf, like Terrifier barf bags.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
I get that autographed at a convention.
Exactly. Hey, Dave. Come here, sign this.
He's an awesome dude, by the way. I don't know if you ever met him.
That's what I've heard. I've yet to meet him, Lauren, Damien. I would love to go somewhere and just meet all of them. I'm not big on like autographs or whatever, but just a chance to meet people and get
Damien. He left a comment on one of our reviews of
the second one.
Yeah, Terrifier 2. He's like, "Thank you, guys." We're like, "Is that Damien?" We're like, "Holy crap!"
Yeah. He seems like a down-to-earth guy who just likes the genre, Reminds me of what's his face? Who's like that? Ty West is like that, like students of the genre and all that. So
well, I think in a lot of times they're paying tribute, and you could see it. Like I felt like that shower scene with the chainsaw. It reminds me of Pieces. Psycho or Pieces. Yeah, there's a movie called Pieces.
Yes.
Yeah, it reminded me of Pieces. The ending of Terrifier 3 was very Hellraiser to me. Like when the floor opened up and that was so Hellraiser. I was like, dude, I'm like, Damien's got to be paying tribute to a lot of his favorites probably. And I don't know what his favorites are. I'm just thinking like like he's got to be like
there's a good interview with him on Dead Meat. So if you haven't checked that out, you'll really get an idea of who he is as a person and as a creative director and all that. But
I saw him on a podcast. He said he was he had a job like delivering flowers, and he was writing for Terrifier 3 or something. And he kept his day job up until like either Terrifier 2 or 3. So I was like, that's crazy how
Staten Island boy.
Yeah, like your whole life can change in the span of a year, dude. It's kind of nuts. It's kind of nuts, bro. Because he was talking about how he got a house like now, and I'm like,
yeah, now the limo comes across of Arizona to pick you up.
Yeah, dude. Well deserved though, because he put the work in, and it's cool to see somebody who's so passionate and get something good out of it, you know. So
yeah, for sure. Let's talk about these movies. Oh yeah, before you do, you mentioned Pieces. I actually saw that this weekend. The guys who were on last week had a film festival over the weekend. Shout out to Genius and to Greg for Nerdoween 10. It was great. I was in attendance. We got a chance to see Charles Bronson, 10 to Midnight.
Yeah, that's a great movie, dude.
Which had a lot of male frontal nudity in it.
That's my favorite part.
Well, shadows and plants sometimes got in the way, but yes. The second one we watched was Butcher Baker, Nightmare Maker.
Yeah, it's also called Night Warning. It goes by two titles.
That movie was insane. Shout out to Aunt Cheryl. That's all I got to say about that movie. We watched The Baby, and then it closed with Pieces.
Does the guy gets hard and feathered in that one? And Butcher Baker? I don't know.
I've never seen that.
I might be thinking of another movie.
No,
but yeah, I remember a pretty brutal scene where this guy gets killed. But
teenage kid, parents killed in a car accident, was raised by his aunt, and the aunt's a little nuts though. So that's all I'll say. But yeah, Pieces. I went back and I was watching your review for Pieces, so it's funny that you bring that up as a reference.
Oh, that was back in the day.
Oh, that's an old
one. That was the early one,
dude. That was that was when we didn't know what we were doing.
Yeah.
But you could see the advent of what was to come, just from your interactions and everything.
Oh,
you were bringing it funny. You were bringing it funny.
I was doing my best, but it's weird, like just having a camera in your face and it's like, okay, go, and you're like, and like it's gonna be. And then like, it's going to be on the internet and people are just like, you suck. Like, it's like.
You know what? You can't focus on the super positive or the super negative because
like
they kind of offset each other. That's how
we learned that. But yes, but at first it's like, dude, like so you get kind of nervous. So, but yeah, I'm pretty comfortable now. And it's to the point where we've done it enough where it's like, it's just fun. We kind of have a formula. We kind of just know what to do. So,
and when you start the lives, they'll be the same way. You'll come up with something that's pretty much a formula. Like you said, you'll have your talking points and then you'll just go from there.
Yeah, that's true.
We got to give it a shot. It'll happen. It'll happen. We also want to start a members page and have extra footage for people that want to sign up. And we've been talking about doing something like that.
Gotta ignore them.
Sam's right. Yeah.
She's right. She's right. Yeah. Let's get into these movies that you selected for me.
Yeah, of course.
Let's start with this first one here because this I saw for the first time last year. I'm trying to remember. I could probably just search it out and figure out who recommended it to me last year. But I remember seeing it and I'm like, what is this movie? And I never watched it. Let's see. Who recommended it to me last year? I don't know. Anyway, somebody. I'm not going to waste time. Anyway, so it was nice to revisit it and to watch it again. The thing about me is I'm really touch and go when it comes to found footage movies. It's like, if I like it, I really like it. And sometimes it's so hit or miss with me that I'm like, really? But this is one that I absolutely love.
Nice.
And every time I'm like, oh, I should get a physical of it, but it lives on Amazon Prime. So I just like fire it up. I'll watch like the beginning. I'll jump to the end when, we're not going to do any spoilers here for anyone who hasn't seen it. But if you haven't, you should go and see this movie because for someone who's not gung-ho about found footage, right here, it is so good. And it scared me. The thing I like about found footage is that, some movies, slashers, let's say, when something's going to happen. The music, there's tropes, it brings you in. This, you don't know when something's going to happen. So because it's like camcorder footage, or it's almost voyeuristic, and it kind of pulls you in, so you're kind of leaning in, and then that's when something happens. I love that aspect of it.
Yeah,
It
I
also
agree.
it also gives it like a real feeling, like a real life feeling to it.
It
Like,
puts you in the
Mhm.
person's shoes holding the camera. You feel like you're the one holding the camera in this movie,
yeah,
especially, in
especially
certain
now.
dark scenes
Yeah.
where they're in very dark rooms and you see the shadow of someone and they think it's someone else. I just love all that eeriness that this film brings. And it's so perfect because it's about a haunted house. So it takes
Yeah.
place in the beginning of October, but I think it's the perfect Halloween watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell the people, just in case they don't know what it's about. Tell them what it's about.
So
Kaylee.
Hell House LLC follows like a film crew of what is it, 5 people. One of them's a couple, 3 of them are their employees. They build these haunts every year in October, and that's their business. They buy these abandoned buildings and turn them into haunted houses. So they bought the Abaddon Hotel, which is the story takes place in like upstate New York, I believe, the Abaddon
Rockland
Hotel.
County.
Yeah. And there's like a lot of lore and a lot of rumors as to why this place is shut down. The main guy, Alex, I don't think he really cares much about all that. He's just like, we're going to go in there and clean it and build, put our stuff in there, and we don't care. We're just going to, and the other people are a little wary about it, but the whole time he's just really into it. And a lot of weird stuff starts to happen. And that's how the plot kind of, gets going. And just, I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to spoil
Yeah.
it for anybody, but it's just, it does a lot of weird things that really, really work. And I think the first time I watched it, I was really terrified, and it still scares me. So
Yeah. Same
yeah.
here. When I watched it last year, it was like I was really, really in tune. And I think for this kind of movie, that's very important to be that way, because you blink, you miss something.
That's
But
true. Mhm.
but if you don't blink and you catch something, then you're like one of those people in the movie. So it's like it draws you in, it pulls you in, and it's almost like you're that sixth character there. So it was definitely fun to revisit. So this was definitely a good choice.
There's also
Oh, I'm so glad you liked
there's
it.
sequels too, right?
There's like 3 sequels. There's 4 movies in
Yeah.
total, I think. I've only seen the 4th one like once, and the other 2 a couple of times, but this movie is actually in like my top 10 like favorite horror films of all time. I love it that much that it's
Yeah.
perfect.
This is what Mika's talking about here when she says waiting for that umbrella set to arrive. So
Oh,
it's Hell House 1
nice.
through 4.
I have
So
to
they're
get
they're
that. Maybe.
releasing all 4 of them together.
Like a box set.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
own the
Oh, nice,
sequels.
man.
Yeah, I need to get it.
And from
We
what
gotta
I
get
hear,
that.
the sequels, they pale in comparison to the original. You don't have the same originality, but I still want to check them out, and I
I
could
definitely
easily stream
recommend
them.
that. Yeah.
I like the fact that it's, for the most part, it's set in that one location. I love single location movies. I don't know why it gets to me, but I love that it's mostly taking place in the hotel, and you see like how they're putting it together, and then when all hell breaks loose, how it turns out. So
Well,
uh,
I
I
love
think
that.
being locked in a room or locked in a house the whole time, it gives you a very claustrophobic feeling, and
mhm, yeah,
it kind of like the Saw films. They're just in a basement the whole time or something like that. It's like
yeah,
it's nuts,
yeah.
man.
I can't believe that's celebrating an anniversary. I know some people went to see it over the weekend on the big screen, which is I am a big proponent of that. If you miss the movie because it came out before you were into movies, or you were too young or whatever, and it has like a re-release for an anniversary or a 4K transfer or something, go see it. Go see it in the theater. I missed Shaun of the Dead. I would have loved to see it on the big screen, because I think I got into Edgar Wright when Hot Fuzz came out. So,
Yeah.
but that has so much zombie lore to it. That's why I love it.
I've never seen Shaun of the Dead. I've heard a lot of good things about it, though. Ken
It's
loves that
awesome.
movie, right?
We actually saw
I think.
we saw Halloween 1978 in theaters, and
Mhm.
I have that movie memorized. I've seen it so many times. It's like my favorite movie.
It's
So yeah, but like in the theater, people were like like popping at like Michael sitting up and like stuff that's like I've seen it so much. I'm just like, oh, this is where he's gonna, like it was.
But it's really cool to see.
But it was cool to see people's reactions. It was almost like they were seeing it for the first time because they were like, oh,
good experience, man. There's nothing like it. Nothing like it. Let's see. Let's go to the other one quickly. Boom,
dude. Hey, was that hard for you to find, by the way? Because
yes,
I'm so sorry. I mentioned to Rob. I was like, I told KB Trick or Treat 1986 for you. I hope that's okay. And he's like, is he going to be able to find that? And I was like, oh no. I was like, I think he'll reach out if he can't, and we can switch.
Greenbox to the rescue.
Okay, I'm so sorry. I didn't think about it till he mentioned it.
I just really like that movie a lot, and it deserves more love because it was out of print for a long time, and back in the day. Back in the day, I used to go to horror conventions, and I would go to the vendor's room, and I would buy burnt movies on bootlegs. Like DVD-R, and that was one of the bootlegs I had. Yeah. Since then, on eBay, they had the DVD that was like overpriced, but I liked the movie so much, I paid for it. But I really want to see this movie on a Blu-ray.
Yeah,
or like get a proper release. I think I saw something advertised. I hope it happens.
I have to check.
But it deserves like a collector's edition or something. Like special features, something to it. Like just a nice release of this movie would be fantastic. I remember
anytime somebody hears Trick or Treat, they're thinking Sam. And
nah.
That's so funny because I'm wearing a Sam shirt.
That's not my thing here.
I love that movie though.
I'm Trick or Treat 1986, man. Because another thing, and every time you combined horror with heavy metal, it just works for me. I just love that. And the movie's 80s. It's like 80s metal meets like horror, and I love the characters. I love the story. It's just what you think of it.
I haven't seen this. I used to work in a video store in the early 90s, so I used to get like all kinds of movies, as you can imagine, from the studios, and people would come in with like bootlegs of stuff. So I've seen a lot of the video nasties, like what they used to have in the UK, and I've seen stuff like this that were hard to find, but I haven't seen it since. So we're talking like 30 years about. So it was fun to go back and revisit. All I remember is Gene Simmons and Ozzy.
Oh yeah,
Gene Simmons and Ozzy. And I was waiting because I forgot where Ozzy was. And when he showed up, I was like, yes, I remember. So it was really cool to see that. But my wife came in while I was watching this, and she's like, what are you watching? So I'm telling her what the story's about. And she's like, oh, yeah, that was big, because she was like a big metal head when she was a teenager. So you have to imagine everything from, Ozzy and Randy Rhoads to, all the heavy stuff too, I think when I got to like SOD, she's like, yeah, that's too heavy for me.
Sometimes I put on stuff and Kaylee's like, it's not my thing. Like,
Yeah. But it was fun to revisit it, and just to revisit that time, because it really was like, the satanic panic time of the late 80s going into the 90s. And I think this film does a great commentary on capturing that. So
yeah, it also has the classic story of like, metalhead kid gets bullied by the preppy kid. And it's kind of like like the kid who's getting picked on gets revenge on the bullies, kind of. So it kind of has one of those stories, He plays the record backwards, and a voice speaks to him and tells him how to take out the kids at school that are picking on him. So I was like, oh, that's kind of rad. So
I was trying to think if I still had, because I still have vinyl. I was trying to think if I have any records that we used to play backwards, just to see like if there's hidden messages or anything. And I don't. I think Honestly, the only thing that I have that I could play backwards is Side A of Purple Rain, which doesn't count for what we're talking about. Let's see. I'm catching up on these comments. Shaun of the Dead is so funny. It's really well done. Definitely recommend.
We'll have to
There
check
you
it
go.
out because that's one of the popular ones we've never seen.
That's the movie Ken Sledge is.
I know. I was gonna say I
Ken
think Ken
Sledge is
liked it.
obsessed with that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sam says we watched Trick or Treat for the first time this weekend. There you go.
Oh, Sam, are you
nice.
guys gonna do a review?
Yeah, definitely do that. Mika, you should check it out. If you have Screenbox, it's on there streaming. I think that's the only place currently streaming it. As soon as we finish the movie, we're looking up the vinyl soundtrack online. Nice.
Oh no, yeah, it's a rocking soundtrack, man.
Yeah. If you like Detroit Rock City or Deathgasm and you like horror, you'll probably like this.
Oh,
that's a good reference right there.
Deathgasm was good. Yeah,
we love
like
that
I said,
one.
anytime you combine horror with like metal or punk, I love it. I love it.
I love that.
There's definitely a crossover too, because a lot of times at conventions you'll see musicians there or you'll see wrestlers there. There's a crossover with horror and other outsider things. So
I wrote down some notes here because for each of these I'm looking for some type of relatability, commonality. So of course you have supernatural elements to it in both movies. You got the whatever's going on in the house, and then of course you have this guy coming back from the dead and just doing what he does. We'll just say it like that. Also revenge. I mean, there's the topic of revenge in both of them, and lore too, because there's a town lore in Hell House that I still think hopefully the sequels explore it more, but I think there's definitely a sense to that. The whole thing with death and revenge and all that, and it definitely plays a part into it. And like you said, Robbie, it's like the music too. The music in this one, the sounds in Hell House, just the audio elements of the movie definitely ties in as well. And that leads to a question. So you have 80s nostalgia here, and you have found footage as a subgenre in the other one. You can no longer watch one or the other. Which one gets the axe?
Oh, found footage. I'm a big 80s horror guy. I mean that was a golden period that like I don't know if we'll ever get it back, but we've been trying ever since the 80s left us. But yeah, it was just a special moment. I mean, I was only a little kid in the 80s, but I wish I was a little older because it seemed like every week there was a slasher movie in the theater. So it would be a fun time to be around and be like, yo, I got to check out this, then I got to check out that, and like And I remember when I started collecting all these 80s horrors, there was so many slashers. Like, dude, there was like so many Friday the 13th ripoffs to like just explore and be like, oh, I got to find that. And nowadays, I'm glad that the films are getting, the proper treatment and getting released, but I miss the hunt for them because I remember when I could track down a copy of something that was rare to get it. I was like, dude, and then I'd be like, I have a copy of that, and it was just a cool thing. It was a cool thing to say. Looking back on it too, when I watch it, my bootlegs, I'm like, this quality's terrible. I'm like, but
you had it. It was the thrill of the hunt. That's what you miss.
I remember Halloween 6 had a producer's cut that was like, it was very rare, hard to find, and when I found the producer's cut, I was like, rad. Yeah. So that was kind of a cool thing, but kids today will never understand the struggle because everything's like streaming, everything's
like presented to them. So it's like my son well, he probably wouldn't say this today, but he's telling me, oh man, I wish I grew up in the 90s, 90s hip hop, whatever. I'm like, well, you could still experience that. He's like, yeah, but it's different. I was like, why? Because you just pull it up on your phone and listen. I was like, we had to sit with the album for 6 months, not because we wanted to. It wasn't much else out, but you have new songs every day. You have new albums every week. It's a little bit different.
I remember when an album dropped of a band I was into. I was so excited. I would go to the record store and like wait for them to open, and then pick up a copy.
Our records.
Yeah. Now it's like, oh, it'll be on Spotify. I just gotta look at my phone, and which is much more convenient. But like I said, I miss the dance. I miss the hunt. I miss because you could dedicate your whole day to that. You're like, oh, a record's dropping. Let's go to the mall. Let's go. I miss that.
Let's go to Sam Goody.
Oh yeah, dude. Oh man, where did I saw Sam Goody in like Stranger Things or something? I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
It was
That-
Yeah,
so good.
they have a lot of throwbacks in that
I was like,
show.
that takes me back. I'm looking.
We got Mr. Tony to check out Trick or Treat. If you could find it, sir, definitely do. I think right now the only physical media is an old DVD. Like Robbie said, it's out of print. So
Yeah, I paid like $60 for it or something
It
ridiculous.
was something ridiculous.
it's
yeah.
it's gonna come out. I have that, and I'm waiting for Black Roses to come out because I love that movie.
That's a great 1989, right? Yeah, that's a great movie.
Yeah, but I think there is licensing issues. But I could see like a Vinegar or like a Scream Factory, Shout Factory doing something like that.
I think Joe Bob covered that recently, didn't he?
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Yeah, Joe Bob and Darcy. I think they. I don't quote me on that, but I think they might have covered that.
Cool.
But that's a cool movie, though, man.
Yeah, straight from the Philippines.
Oh, hello.
We got Prince. Good morning, good sir. I'm not going to say Thailand. I said he was in Thailand last week. He's in the Philippines. Good morning.
We got worldwide audience here tonight.
I love it. I love when
dude.
people check in from all over the place. It
so
really shows
cool.
the love. It really shows the love.
It's incredible, dude, and it's fun. It's cool to have friends all over the globe. That's
Oh yeah, because it helps when you are trying to find something too if you're into physical media. So
it's funny whenever I watch a foreign film, though. I'm into them. They're very good, but I can't read that fast. So the subtitles, they take the subtitles away too fast, and I'm like, what'd he say? I'm like, what'd he say? So I just got to go on if they're yelling or if they're calm. I'm like, okay. Yeah. I'm like, that guy's pissed. Okay.
You guys ready to do the 5 takes?
Yeah.
Let's do it, man.
All right. 5 takes, the 5 questions we ask at the end of every conversation. This month we'll have a little horror remix on it. So we're going to start with number 1, as we always do. We'll start with Kaylie, the ladies first. Number 1, name the horror movie that made you fall in love with the genre.
This is probably a lot of people's answer, but I'm just being honest. Halloween 1978 is like a favorite of mine. I think it like started the whole or it was at the beginning of like the slasher genre. And I really think a lot of movies like tried to replicate the special magic that was in that movie. And it's not October without, Laurie Strode, Dr. Loomis, and Michael Myers. Oh, I love it. Yay.
Let me see. Oh.
I love the artwork on that too.
Joel
we don't
Robinson.
have that. Yeah, that's so
Joel
pretty.
Robinson.
A lot of people don't like it. A lot of people don't like the cover.
Yeah,
but,
I like the leaves.
I think we know the artist.
That's what I know. That's what I know.
The classic poster, yeah.
The Night He Came Home.
I just think October is not complete without it, and
it's my favorite.
I just love it.
It's my favorite movie.
It's so good.
How about you, Robbie?
Yeah, I'm going to say the same thing. For all the reasons Kaylie said, but my first experience watching Halloween, I was 10 years old, and I was at a birthday party sleepover at my friend's house, and we're a bunch of guys hanging out, like little kids hanging out, and we had a bunch of VHS tapes back then, and most of them were comedies. But us being kids, we're like, let's watch a movie we're not supposed to. We're like, let's watch a horror movie, and then we're like, we're not scared to watch it. Well, let's watch it. So I watched it, and one part that stood out for me at 10, the ending scene when Loomis shoots him off the balcony. And as a kid, I'm used to evil being punished. The bad guys go to jail. The good guys win at the end. Loomis looks for him, and he's gone. And the credits roll. The movie's over, and I'm like, that can happen. Yeah. I'm like, and like me just being a little kid, I'm like, that can't happen. I'm like, wait. I'm like, the killer's still out there. I'm like, yeah. And spoiler alert to anybody in the chat. I'm sorry. I just spoiled the ending. But yeah,
that was me with Empire when I was 10 years old. I was like, what do you mean? What do you mean? No, the good guys are supposed to win. Not getting that poetic justice at the end of a movie when you're a kid, because all stories end with and they lived happily ever after, or the good guys won, or there's some moral at the end. No, he got away.
I know.
Yeah.
It does have a downer ending.
When you realize Michael's gone, it cuts back to Dr. Loomis, and Dr. Loomis's reaction isn't even like, "Oh my god, oh my god." Dr. Loomis's reaction is, "I knew that would happen," because he's just like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
He understands the shape.
Almost Loomis is like, where is he now? Like that's his reaction, because like he knows Michael, he knows he's unstoppable, and that ending is so effective, dude.
It is so good. I love it. I watch it. I'm right now. I'm trying to decide. I always watch that and something else. So for many years, I would do Halloween 1, Halloween 2. Then I started doing Halloween 2018. A couple of years I did the Sam Trick or Treat and Halloween 78. But I want to watch something different this year with it. I just don't know what it is yet. Maybe Terrifier 2.
That would be a good like back to back.
I recommend Trick or Treat 1986.
You already watched it.
Oh my gosh. What's up, Corey? Thanks for joining us here. What's up, Sarah? Thank you for
how you doing, Sarah?
Yeah, there is nothing like the OG. No,
I don't even know, like, I don't know where horror would be without it, because it was like it was the blueprint that like started the Friday the 13th. Like Sean Cunningham's like, I wanted to rip off Halloween. He's straight up about it. Yeah. And then everything ripped off Friday the 13th. So I was like, without Halloween, it wouldn't be the same. I'm not saying it wouldn't exist. I'm just saying it wouldn't be the same. Like,
what's up, Kal-El?
What's up, man?
It's true. Number 2, we will start with Robbie on this and just ping pong back and forth with each title. So number 2, name 5 of your favorite horror movies, or just 5 franchises.
5 of my favorite movie. I'm an 80s slasher guy, or 70s. I'm a slasher guy. I'm gonna say original Halloween, changed horror forever. We just talked about it. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original. I cannot believe that movie came out in 1974. It's scary as hell. It's almost like found footage before found footage, because it seems real. There's no music. There's just there's a buzzing chainsaw and Marilyn Burns screaming. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the OG Friday, The Burning, I think is such an underrated
review.
Oh my god. Yes. The Burning is such an underrated slasher film. I feel like there could have been 10 of those with sequels, and the fact that we don't even have a sequel is like beyond me. There could have been sequels to that. That's such a good campfire horror story with Tom Savini's special effects behind it.
Respect.
And the 5th one, I'm going to say Slumber Party Massacre from 19.
Go back and revisit that. It's been so long.
Fun one.
From 1982, it's a fun blood, boobs, chicks just hanging out at a slumber party, and it's basically the same formula as Halloween. There's an escaped mental patient, and he's going to crash the slumber party, and it's awesome. It's so much fun. So I'll say those 5.
Kaylie?
I'm gonna go with Alien, Halloween,
sci-fi horror.
Yes, Halloween. An American Werewolf in London.
Nice.
Hell House LLC.
In your top 5?
And
Brad.
Brad. I'll go with Friday the 13th.
The OG.
The Mrs. Voorhees. Sure.
Those are the 5 I think off the top of my head.
Oh god, if you said the remake, I would have got very angry.
I know you don't like that.
I hate
Sam loves that one. You like that, especially now that it got that hour release. A lot of people are rediscovering it or discovering it.
I like it. I don't mind it. Yeah.
Is there a question coming up? A movie that everybody likes that I don't?
Yeah, you keep that. Yeah, hold that in.
Or matter of fact, let's hop into it. Go ahead and answer it. Number 3. Name a horror movie that everybody loves, but you don't particularly like.
Oh, the Friday remake. The Friday remake. I do not understand why this film didn't get more hate. I was so disappointed in this film. I was so excited for it because the hype behind it. I was at conventions. They were talking about it. They're like, it's going to be a combination of the first 4 Fridays put together. We're going to pay tribute to all the. They promised so much stuff. And basically, the whole story was surrounded by these douchebag kids looking for pot. And
what else do you do in the forest?
Yeah. It was nothing to do. And they killed Jason's mother in like 2 seconds. They could have opened up that movie with like a whole killing spree. They killed her in 2 seconds. I didn't think any of the kills were that good compared to the 80s. I'd rather watch the 80s stuff. I mean, I was expecting more from stuff like more modern stuff. I was like, they can turn it up with the kills. No, not really. And just by the way, when did Jason start taking hostages? I don't know. When did that start happening? He built an underground layer. When did that start happening? I don't understand this. And then at the end, she's like, Jason, say hi to mommy. And I'm like, this is the worst film I've ever seen. And people are too busy complaining about Rob Zombie's remake or this remake. No, this is the worst remake ever. Ever.
I like it kind of. I don't know. I don't mind it.
Yes, Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
And by the way, that douche guy, he's like, "You're right, bro.
He did a great job.
Your tits are stupendous, bro. They're stupendous, bro. Nah, bro. Nah." Oh God.
I forgot. The guy said something last week about like triple B's in movies, and it was like blood, boobs, booze, something. I don't know.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. You earn Mika's heart. That's her all-time favorite right there.
I love that franchise. I love that.
The chat's about to turn on me because that's a loved remake, and I just totally.
You know what? It happens. Yeah. It happens.
Oh, here it comes. Hate. Oh no.
Prince started my October horror watches last week. Constantine is next. Oh, okay.
Dude.
Have you seen The Taking of Deborah Logan?
I have.
I know the title.
It was very scary. I need to show it to Rob because I think I watched it by myself when it was on Netflix like years ago. So that's when you need to see. It's pretty messed up. You should watch it with me. I remember really enjoying it.
I will check it out.
Have a good night, Mr. Tony. Thanks for popping in.
Tony, thanks so much, man.
Yeah, 4:30 comes quickly.
Oh yeah.
How about you, my dear?
I'm gonna go with a more recent movie. Smile and Smile 2. They're both, a lot of people like those movies. I'm not. Okay. I think I'm in the minority. I don't really care for the plot of the. Stop doing that. I didn't really like it. And I didn't like the second one either. So I'm going to have to go with Smile. It's not that they're very well-made movies and they're just not for me. I like the acting and the music and all the stuff that you're supposed to like about a movie. I just didn't like the story too much. So yeah, I'm in the minority with that. So Smile and Smile 2.
I'm sure people that don't watch horror too often would think it was amazing.
No, that's what I'm saying. I think a lot of people like them, but it's just not for me.
I'm sure like just the casual moviegoer will be like they love jump scares. They love stuff like that.
Yeah,
but like,
I think if you're using that as a method to scare me instead of just being creepy or having something that's gonna like terrify me, it's not worth it. But I feel the same way. When I saw Smile, I mean, Kevin Bacon, it's his daughter. I'm like, okay, so I'm in. And I watched it and I was like, if I never watch this again, I'll be good.
That's how I feel.
Yeah,
and I rewatched it this month and I'm like, I think I want to see Smile 2 because I have a feeling I'm going to enjoy that more than this.
You might.
I was hoping they were going to go like totally different and just totally like redeem themselves. And I think
give away too much.
No, I haven't seen it.
It's slightly better, but I still wasn't blown away by it. I was like, and I was leaving the theater though, and one of the kids that worked there,
he was smiling.
He was like, as I was walking out, I was like, dude, like, don't do that. And that was pretty cool. But
yeah, he's like, I'm gonna mess with people today coming out of this. You just watch a movie now. I can smile at you.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's flip it around. Number 4, Kaylie. Name a horror movie that needs more love.
I'm gonna go back to the movie we were just talking about and say Hell House LLC. I think it needs more love. More people need to know about it. It should drop on. I don't think it ever has been on like Netflix. It should come to like a major. Well, I guess it's on Amazon Prime, so maybe that's a major streaming platform.
Like I said, it's been there for years.
Yeah,
I've seen it there. So I don't know what kind of license they have with it, but yeah, I think once it drops like on like a big one, more people will check it out. But for somebody who doesn't like found footage that much, I really enjoyed it.
No, I'm so glad you liked it because I think a lot of people, even if they don't enjoy found footage, usually they would probably like this one just because the story's so good and it's so crazy. So
yeah,
I definitely
it has that creep factor without the jump scares and all that.
Exactly.
How about you, Rob?
Can I trouble you to grab me that one and that one? It's right next to you. I'm making her get up. Trick or treat and the other one. All right. I'm going to give you a double here.
Okay.
I said before, here's my DVD copy of Trick or Treat. This one
I'm going to take you full screen so the people could see.
All right, here's my DVD copy of Trick or Treat.
Nice.
But it's just a DVD copy, man. We need a Blu-ray. We need a collector's edition. We need special features. We need a slip cover, or whatever you call it. I want to see a nice release with this one. It needs more love.
Yes.
And also, I don't know, something so enjoyable about this, but I know it's corny. There's a movie called Nail Gun Massacre. It's 100% cheesy. It's from 1986. It's low budget, but it's so fun, dude. It's so fun. It's basically about a guy just walking around with a nail gun and putting nails in people's heads. And he has one-liners after he does it, like Freddy. He's like, "Ooh, that's gotta hurt." Like just stupid stuff like that. And it's called Nail Gun Massacre. It's cheesy. You see some boobs. It's sexy. I don't know. It's
screaming Vinegar Syndrome.
Yeah, I don't know who put this out. But
it says 88 films.
Yeah.
Oh, 88 films. So maybe that's a Blu-ray, right?
Yeah, it's a Blu-ray.
Actually, I think I got a 4K this year, and
nice.
But it's so cheesy.
If you're check that out,
dude, if you're in the mood for a cheesy good time, I mean, it's amazing. And I just love indie horror, and I love sometimes when something's not perfect, and it's just but it still tells a story, and it still entertains me the whole way. I feel like Nail Gun Massacre is entertaining as hell. This movie is entertaining as hell. You will laugh, you will have a good time with this movie. And Trick or Treat needs a better release. I
treat myself to a couple movies like that a year. Like last Christmas, I watched It's a Wonderful Knife.
Yeah.
It was so cheesy. But you know what? I sat there and I laughed. And Justin Long, I'm like, "Oh, he was great. This one too, great."
Right? He's so good at it.
Made me want Barbarian on even more.
Yeah, we do our Christmas horror every year, and that was one of the movies
we watched that.
We watched that last year.
It was cheesy. It was fun, but it was cheesy. Yeah.
We put on our Santa Claus hats. We do reviews in front of our tree. We try to get the vibe going. But I thought that was a cool, wasn't that a cool? They did a take on the classic It's a Wonderful Life story.
So, I trust
Prince
you.
Says, I trust you.
Well, dude, I will not steer you wrong.
Nail Gun Massacre.
Yeah,
like a nail gun.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, dude. It's the nails are so fake. They're rubbery. You could tell when they kill somebody. It's like, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh man, I want to thank everyone who came in the chat tonight. I want to thank everyone who's been lurking. We see you.
Thanks so much, everybody.
Anyone on the replay. I want to thank our guest tonight. Before we land the plane, we always like to end it with number 5. Now you've been on the conversation and hopefully you've had fun. Who do you like to see me have a conversation with on this channel?
I think we both agreed on somebody.
We did. I'm not sure if you know him, but Cody, Dude Who Loves Movies, is a really nice guy, and he has a really fun channel.
That guy's the
man. He's been on Sledgehammer Horror, and I'm not sure if he's collabed with Our Life in Horror, but we kind of he's one of the channels that we watch. And I didn't see that you had done anything with him on your page. If I'm not, I might be mistaken, but I was looking just to make sure. But he's really nice and really cool. And,
and he wears that horror couple hat. He's the man. So
you know what? Walking billboards are always encouraged. I had him on the conversation well over a year ago. But
I didn't go back far enough.
It was a Friday night, and we just hung out and talked everything from Dr. Giggles and Chucky to 90s R&B music. He is a Renaissance man. He is a man of many, many tastes, and definitely a cool dude.
I'm sorry. I thought I went. I guess I didn't. I totally did not notice that.
I think our friends at Good Reel would be a good show.
Good Reel Hunting. I don't know if you've ever had them on. They're very nice. They're really cool.
Yeah, Birdie and
Bretman and Brad. Yeah, they're really nice.
Let's get them on. Yeah, they'll do it too. just say Rob wants you on, bitch, and they'll do it.
We did like a live watch
quote
along with
unquote.
them.
Yeah, no. If you check out their stuff, they do reviews. They do hilarious skits. They do. They're so funny. They do
They're
Dr.
very nice.
They do Dr. Loomis with a bald cap on, and they're running around, and they do some Freddy Krueger skits that are just funny as hell. And but they also review like movies, and they're very nice guys. They always been supportive of our channel, and so yeah, I'll say Good Real Hunting. Check it out.
I have added them to the list. Believe me, I literally have now 112 people on my list for future guests. So I am looking forward to getting more people on in 2025. I think we have 1 or 2 more guests lined up for this month, and we're going to end the horror double features month off with a bang. But I want to thank you two again. I have to tell you, Kaylie, because I know you know Christy. Every time I hear you speak, I'm like, you sound just like Christy from Nightmare Toys.
It's the southern twang. Yeah, the southern.
Even though it's different,
I'm from Georgia. Yeah.
Yeah, different states, but it's like you just remind me of her every time.
Yeah, no, I hear it. I understand. Yeah,
they're good people. They're good people over there at Nightmare Toys.
Yeah, they are. If you ever go back there anytime soon, tell I say hello.
Oh, for sure.
We were on their show.
Give her a kiss, not you, Rob.
Yeah.
Give her a kiss.
I will.
Can I watch?
You could watch and record and send it to me.
Oh, nice.
On that note, I want to thank everyone once again for checking out the conversation. Check me out on Instagram and all that good stuff. Check them out. That horror couple, look for it anywhere. I will put it in the description after we're done here.
Is the link below? Can I point to the link?
Yes. Point to the link below. That will be there as soon as I finish up here.
Do it. Subscribe and check out Nail Gun Massacre immediately.
Yes. Go find that one, because that sounds like a killer one.
Yes, and I would like to get a subscriber from the Philippines if I could. That would just be cool.
Prince. Go ahead and subscribe to them.
I mean, I want to say people from the Philippines know me.
There you go.
Right? Oh, there you go. He says, "Will do."
Oh,
thanks, man.
There
Tell
you
your
go.
friends.
I love it. Have a good night, everyone.
It worked.
Go watch a movie.